Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Welcome to the Scare Guys Show, Home Edition. We are the place for your news and insider opinions from the world of horror conventions, TV shows, films, and everything that's scary fun. We're the scary side of the con guy. And including brand new horror film, The Bone Box, which we'll be talking about shortly. It premiered on YouTube this week with one of the actors from the film, Aaron Schwartz. We're so glad he's here with us. But first, let's see who we have in the room with us, in the rooms with us today. Katie?
Hi, everybody. It's Katie. Since we're doing the Scare Guys, final
Talk,
girl Katie,
featuring
and happy to be talking spooky stuff with you guys during this kind of spooky time already. So,
Ben.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ben Kliewer. You know, people always ask me, Ben, why are you always drinking out of that red cup? Well, it's because whenever Ben Kliewer shows up, it's always a party. Quack, quack.
oh.
Cheeseman.
And I'm Cheeseman in the chair here at home. Usually Cheeseman on the couch in the studio, but I'm here with thescareguy.com.
Ryan?
Yes, and I'm Ryan Nilsen, and I am live producing this show. So excited to be talking to one of the stars of Mighty Ducks, and we're still in quarantine. It's been a crazy couple of days, but we've had some amazing people on the Con Guy, Scare Guy shows recently, and today is no exception.
We are so excited for our guest today. I'd like to introduce everybody to Aaron Schwartz. On this week's show, we are talking with Aaron Schwartz. Is famous for his roles in The Mighty Ducks, Heavyweights, Gossip Girl, The Kaminsky Method. He was on The Kaminsky Method. I'm so excited about that. It's one of my favorite shows. Young Girls, awesome. Elementary, The Originals, and so many more, tons more. You can also see him if you look. If you want to check out Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, among others. Today we're going to talk to him about The Bone Box. But first of all, we just wanted to give a round of applause for Aaron for being on the show today. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you. Thanks for setting this all up, guys. This is cool. It's my first time using Zoom, so I'm like having fun with the backgrounds right now. I just put a little Mighty Ducks background in there.
Ooh. Well, we love the background though. That's awesome.
I'm going to keep on changing it up through the interview and see where we go.
All right.
Yeah.
So how you doing these days being quarantined, Aaron?
Good. It's okay. It's good. It's an adjustment, but I'm happy to be healthy and safe from the coronavirus. It's a project to go outside to like put the mask on to make sure you do everything right. So still adjusting to it, but grateful that I'm not sick and happy that I have the ability to work out at my house. I have food. I have enough toilet paper. Which is it was getting close. It was getting close, and then I got some. So yeah, we're good here now.
that's a rare commodity these days.
Oh my
so Aaron,
God.
we are so excited to talk to you about so many things, especially the new movie which just premiered on YouTube just this past week. We all took a look at it.
Yeah.
And so we are so appreciative of you being on the show today. We're going to take a break right now to talk about a couple of things, but please chime in. Anything you hear, please chime in, and we'd love to have your voice and your opinion on this. And then I just want to let everybody know. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to have a little bit of news and updates from the world of horror conventions. Ben's got his 3-minute rundown of news, and then we're going to jump back and talk with Aaron for the remainder of the show, find out what he's been up to, find out about the new movie, and we're just really excited about that. So thank you so much, Aaron, for being on with us.
Guys, you guys are awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheeseman on the couch. What do you got?
What, the masks?
Yeah. Look what we got. I gotta tell some. All right, he's got something there. What is that?
Oh, is that Star Wars
it's a
face
homemade mask?
Oh wow.
My mask. This one is. Can you recognize mine?
That is a.
Oh, it's Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Panther, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's Black Panther.
What's this one here?
Star Wars.
Nice, dude.
And we also
you got that one?
No, you got the other one, right? You have the Marvel?
I do have a Marvel one here too as well.
And I just want you guys to know that everybody is your part during this pandemic. And the coolest thing, my mom back in South Carolina, she can't really leave the house. Well, she's leaving the house more than she should. I'm trying to make her stay at home. But she is doing her part.
Are you pulling them up?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're pulling them up, right, Jim? Or Are you opening her masks? Is that what's going on? You're bringing up your mom. You're bringing up the masks that your mom sent in North Carolina or South Carolina.
No. I just received a phone call and it made the camera turn off, I think is what happened.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
you go.
My mom's in South Carolina and I'm so proud of her. She's made all these masks and she's sending them around to people and she's doing her part. And what's even cooler is like in the top, she even put a place to put little filters in for your mask to make your mask very safe and very sanitary. I'm really excited about that. Good for you, Mom. You should start a business or something. All right, we got a little bit of news here. For those of you who don't know, this is the halfway to Halloween month. Halfway to Halloween, we have 6 months to Halloween. We're going to start our countdown. Please stay inside, quarantine, do your part to keep everybody safe so we can save Halloween this year, guys. We need Halloween back. But what's kind of cool is if you guys have not yet checked out Shudder, the streaming horror streaming service that you can get, it's fantastic because right now they are having a halfway to Halloween festival or marathon or whatever. They let me see. Shudder is celebrating halfway to Halloween month they kicked it off with a Friday the 13th marathon with films 1 through 8. And they're also doing some films of the most influential and memorable films of the 80s slasher era. They've got a cool new series called Cursed Films. There's actually like 5 or 6 films they're doing a documentary on about these films supposedly were cursed. And these films include like Poltergeist, the terrible tragedies that happened to some of the kids on Poltergeist. The Omen apparently had some terrible things that happened. Awesome background, Aaron. I love that.
There it is.
Perfect. Figure out what the one that he just
gang call here.
What was the last one you had up, Aaron? Because I thought, was that Liv Tyler over his left shoulder?
No, I was trying to put up the poster for the Lifetime movie I just did. But the posters, whatever's there in the picture, it gets really close. So I just saw Gina Holden's face. I just saw Gina Holden's face and not like up her nostril. So I thought that was probably
Isn't this crazy?
Good.
Aaron's
I like this one.
over on Zoom and he knows how to use it better than I do already.
It took me like 30 minutes just to log on, so I needed to like catch up quickly. So, yeah.
Also, just to close out the Shudder portion, they also have 10 recipes for drinks to celebrate halfway to Halloween. And finally, they have a halfway to Halloween hotline, which is the craziest thing. It's 914-481-2239. Again, the halfway to Halloween hotline. It's 914-481-2239. Call it and see what you got. I think it changes all the time.
Did you call it?
I haven't called it yet.
You haven't called it yet?
No,
right.
I could be directing people to something that's not very good, huh? All right.
Call it now.
This is the part of the show where we like to catch everybody up on the news of the week. And so, Ben, Kliewer will be taking over. So this will be the scariest 3 minutes of the week. How you doing, Ben?
All right. Do we have a timer set up for me, Ryan?
We do have a timer. It'll be popping up on the screen momentarily, but I will count you in, sir.
All righty.
All right, we're going to start the scariest 3 minutes of news in 3, 2, 1. Now.
The classic Stephen King novel Salem's Lot has never had a big screen treatment, but it's getting closer as horror writer Gary Dauberman has been named director of the New Line adaptation, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Dauberman is also writing the screenplay of the 1975 King vampire story. Dauberman has familiarity with King's novels as he's already penned the screenplays for It and It Chapter 2. His directorial coming out party was held last year as he helmed the film Annabelle Comes Home. This holiday season, Hallmark has some ornaments that would make any horror fan proud to see dangling from their tree, including new versions from the world of Jaws, The Haunted Mansion, and Stranger Things. All 3 favorites appear in the 2020 Dream Book, the official Hallmark holiday digital preview catalog. The Jaws ornament captures the moment of the movie, and the shark decides he's had enough of the crew of the Orca, right before Officer Brody tells the Great White to smile. And Haunted Mansion maniacs will be thrilled to add the classic hitchhiking ghosts scene to their tree. The filmmaking team behind the Sundance Film Festival sensation The Night House are reuniting to tackle the reimagining of the horror classic Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser was written and directed by Clive Barker, adapting his own novella, The Hellbound Heart. And the 1987 movie introduced audiences to a puzzle box that opens a gateway to a horrific world and Cenobites, mutilated beings dedicated to torture and led by one nicknamed Pinhead.
Gross.
Following the release of February's breakout success of The Invisible Man, Universal Pictures is now seeking writers and directors for the studio's next creature feature, and now Watchmen series director Stephen Williams has been brought in to helm Don't Go in the Water, which is being described as a suspenseful monster movie, according to Variety. Many are assuming this is Universal's remake of the classic film The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and it just came over the waves
65 seconds.
What? Just this afternoon, somewhat related to scare and horror, but we've kind of known this for a while, but now it appears Marvel Studios has made it official. Sam Raimi is officially directing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the sequel to the Benedictine cucumber batch.
That's what I call him.
Yeah.
Is that your news?
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's my news. That's it.
Well done.
All right. You got to put on those sunglasses now.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Them shades.
Prepared.
There we go. That's fantastic. For me, you guys saw me get a little bit excited. The most exciting bit of news, of course, if they are doing a remake of The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I just hope they do it well. I got him here. I have my hat here. I have my shirt here. I'm a little bit geeked out on the news that The Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man, may be making his return to movie theaters. I'm super stoked about that. So here's hoping that it happens the right way. Love your background, Ryan.
Yeah, I
That's
like it,
awesome.
Ryan. Good background. Yeah.
All right. So this is the part of the show where we give a little bit of news and updates from the world of horror conventions. So I'm going to turn it over to Katie to do that for us.
Yeah, so I'm going to get into the convention update. We're talking about some rescheduled events because obviously once with the halfway to Halloween, there are horror events that happen, but some of them had to get rescheduled because of what's going on right here. But I did have to mention, if you do like Stephen King stuff, and particularly the Salem's Lot thing that Ben was talking about, you could go watch the Castle Rock after show because they kind of talked about Salem's Lot the second season. So it's on Hulu right now. You can check out that telling of Salem's Lot. And you might see a familiar face on the after show, just saying. And anyway,
is that you, Katie?
Yeah.
Good.
I did the Castle Rock season 2 after show, so it's me. That's the twist. Anyway, so getting into the convention update. So Spooky Empire in Orlando, and if you guys aren't familiar, Orlando is also a very big hub for horror, as well as LA. Those are two very big hubs for that. Just a very big demand for them in those areas. So Spooky Empire Orlando was moved from May 22nd to 24th to August 14th through 16th. So I like to just say we're jumpstarting Halloween early. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, And all pre-ordered tickets for May will be transferred automatically to the new date in August. Because they're postponing, the tickets are currently non-refundable. However, if you are not able to make those dates, you have a couple options. The tickets will not expire. They will be honored at our October event. You will need to bring your unscanned tickets with you. And the October event is October 30th through November 1st, so Halloween weekend. Tickets are also easily transferable. All you need to do is transfer them over via email or printing them out. So they don't have a non-transferable policy, which is nice because a lot of events, it's like non-transferable. You cannot give this to someone. And then lodging, the Wyndham is now shut down as of last week, so they're not sure when they will reopen. So that's for the lodging update. So because obviously hotels is a big issue with all these conventions, is you're like, are they going to have availability at that time? And just stay tuned to the Scare Guy Twitter. We'll update you guys if we hear anything else. As well as Horror Hound Weekend, which is in Cincinnati. It was postponed until May 22nd to 24th. May get changed again. We'll see. That is, kind of pushing it pretty close after the whole stay in place thing is over. Horror Hound Weekend Indiana returns to the Indiana Convention Center in September. So that one's still sitting as is. And then there's Chiller Theater, which is a toy, motto, and film expo, June 5th through 6th in Persephone, New York?
Yep.
New Jersey? Okay, gotcha. Now, I did not know that was a place. So, all right. Katie's learning some things today. And that's their 30th anniversary show. And then there is TerrorCon in Rhode Island. So Rhode Island's own horror convention, June 13th through 14th. So, midsummer, I like it, And then on a side note, one other thing is Midsummer Scream is still happening as of now. I typed up an update today. That's the Southern California kind of jumpstart our horror convention. That's where a lot of the Universal Studios and they do presentations there as well. So that kind of is a big hub for announcements in the Southern California horror market. And that's still going on as planned as of now. And then last but not least, Days of the Dead, which is a very popular one. It is in Las Vegas, but it moved from June 19th through 21st to October 16th through 18th. So just right before Halloween. It features Raku, Raku Browning?
Rico.
I couldn't never tell. I was like, I know I'm saying that wrong, but I'm so sorry, everybody. And he was an underwater performer for Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes, I'm geeking out a little about Creature today. Sorry.
So yeah, sorry, Jim, that I offended you by saying his name wrong.
Oh, you're all good.
It will also feature Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws, Tom Savini from the famous makeup genius from Friday the 13th, Creepshow, Dawn of the Dead, and more. And then Oliver Robbins, who is the son in Poltergeist, and Linda Blair, I don't even need to say who that is. Everybody knows. And then David Naughton, the star of An American Werewolf in London. Mm-hmm. So, and lots more. So as we get more updates, we'll try to post those on the Scare Guy Instagram/Twitter. So yeah.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for that. There's a lot going on. A lot of people are trying to do the conventions, and one thing that and Katie's doing a really good job of keeping on top of it on social media. A lot of the conventions are moving online. They're trying their best to capture some of the things online. For example, not necessarily a horror convention, but WonderCon just this past weekend, they had their online WonderCon experience. And throughout the entire month of April, they'll be posting panels, including one from your team truly, as part of their virtual conventions. So that's really exciting. It's really exciting. All right. So this is the part of the show where we get to switch over and actually host our own panel. So welcome to the panel portion of the Scare Guys show. And this is where we get to find out a little bit more about Aaron. So Aaron, hey, so we are.
What's happening?
Let's talk.
Yeah, heavyweights.
The
heavyweights.
Trying to find all this stuff.
So guys, before we jump into the Bone Box discussion, I know that everybody has a few other questions for Aaron they would like to ask. And my first one, Aaron, is
yes.
Is this your first horror movie?
This is. I'm going to go back there because it's distracting, I think. This is no. I did a movie called. Well, yeah, I think this type of genre. I did kind of like a slasher movie.
Oh, yes. That's right. Yeah.
A thing called the Slasher Party, which was. It had a lot of YouTubers in it, a lot of well-known YouTubers in it, and it was kind of like Scream, the new YouTuber star version of Scream. It was like, and I played one of the directors who gets slashed up in it. Yeah. So,
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I'll ask one more question, then I'll pitch it off to the rest of the team here. It's like, so how do you feel like when you're doing different films and stuff? How do you feel about horror films in general? Do you enjoy them? Is it something that you like to do?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see how the cookies are made. Kind of. You watch a lot of horror films, and when it's done well, it scares the crap out of you, and you're like, how did they? There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a whole team behind it. So on set, it's not that scary, and then things get pieced together, and you get to see the magic being made. So I love being a part of that. I love being a part of TV and movies just because of that. Yeah. So yeah I had a blast.
All right, Cheeseman, I know you had a question.
Yeah, tell us about your part in this movie.
In the Bone Box.
In the Bone Box.
I play a really bad guy. I am. I don't know if I want to. Can I tell everything about it? Am I going to give it away?
Well, no. Here's what's publicly known about it right now. I'll give you the description. Okay. Here's the official description.
Yes, because I don't want to mess up. Luke is a good friend, and I don't want to step on his toes in any way.
Depressed and reeling from the recent death of his wife, Tom has built up quite a gambling debt. And he goes to stay with his wealthy Aunt Florence in hopes that she will write him into her will. When a nasty creditor, played by Mr. Aaron Schwartz, makes it clear that Tom is out of time, he robs the graves of the rich townspeople buried in the cemetery across the road. But then Tom begins hearing and seeing ghosts of the people he robbed. Is Tom's conscience playing a trick on him, or is he really being haunted by those he stole from? So that's the premise of the film. You're the creditor.
Yeah.
You're basically
I'm the creditor.
You're the reason why he's going desperate.
Although he has a rich aunt, I feel like, just rob from the rich aunt. Why you got to rob from all the dead people? You know you're going to get haunted. It was fun. I've been playing a lot of bad guys. Like everything that I've been booking, pretty much for the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been just playing really bad people. So I don't know what that says about me, but
what did you use to inspire you for that part? Did you get a little like Casino and get a little Scorsese feeling?
It's a mix of different people. There's these moments where you have to kind of intimidate somebody, and you have those little beats, and I definitely get a little De Niro in Cape Fear without the accent. Got a little bit of that. This guy's like a gambler. He's somebody who thinks he's a big shot. He probably drives a nice car that he probably shouldn't drive, and he's made his money in a bad way, and so he thinks he's a god, I feel like. And so this poor young man is trying to pay off the debt that he accrued with me, and I'm not very happy with him. So there's a lot of...
You played a good tough guy.
Thanks, man. It's the neck tattoo. They put a neck tattoo on, and
so that was cool.
All I had to do was just talk, and that was it, yeah.
So Katie and Ben, what do you got? What kind of questions you guys have?
Well, first of all, I wasn't here for the last time, Aaron, that you were on our show. And so I'm not going to mention it much because I know we're talking about the Bone Box, but I am a massive fan of the Anaheim Ducks. I cannot not mention it. And I think the show that you were on was actually before the 25th anniversary for the team. So I actually just wanted to ask you real quick how that experience was for you, because I know they did a lot of events for the 25th anniversary. And I was just wanting to know how that experience was for you. Like, did you really enjoy being a part of that?
Incredible. It's always been a family. Jordan Kerner, who's the guy who pretty much put together the Ducks. I mean, Steve Brill wrote it, and Stephen Herrick directed the first one, but Jordan Kerner is the mastermind behind it. He kind of found the script, brought it to Disney, did all the work, and Jordan still is like a father to all of us. He organized it with the Anaheim Ducks, and we all got there, and they gave us our own jerseys. They made a jersey, a traditional jersey, and the newer ones for the Anaheim Ducks. Got to skate with some of the Anaheim Ducks. Got to go onto the rink and do like a little flying V video. It was surreal, and it made me realize that I need to get back on the ice so I don't bust my butt every 5 minutes, because I was okay. It came back, but I was definitely rough on the ice. But it was fun. Yeah, it was lots of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I just had to mention it because it just seemed like such a cool collaboration, and
it was so
being
cool.
able to go back after so many years, it triggers a nostalgia in everybody. And I feel like nostalgia plays such a big part in so much, as much people don't want to admit it. So, but yeah, thanks for answering that question.
I nostalgia is like the big thing now, and it's been happening. I thought the nostalgia craze was going to end a couple years ago, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And I'm grateful because, I did some pretty cool stuff when I was a kid, and I felt grateful back then. I knew back then how lucky I was, and I still feel lucky, and I never get upset when people mention anything from the past. So definitely it's one of my favorite things. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully there'll be a Funko Pop of you soon.
Yeah.
Right?
They finally announced
great.
Some Mighty Ducks pops. It took them a long time. I don't know if you guys know that.
They have my friend Vinny who plays Banks. He's one, and it's
so more.
Amazing.
There'll be more in the future, I think. I'm excited.
I think so. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Question for you. So in the Bone Box, this horrible man that you play, your character in the film. His name is Benji.
As I'm like, yes, thank you. Yeah. His name is Benji. Yes.
Why you got to be doing that to guys like me who are actually named Benji?
Oh, because you're all evil. All of you are evil. Don't name your children. But no, I'm joking. Benji's look. I'm a good Jew. Benji. Benji's a nice Jewish name. Benjamin is what they say. What the elders say.
There you
part
go.
of the tribe. So, maybe it's all the
Um,
anti-Semites. No, I'm joking.
No.
You did get your own dog movie though, Ben.
That's true. We did get a series of an adorable.
Benji was the
dogs.
cutest thing in the world. So
Right.
Just don't let me ruin it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but actually, you've said you've been more the work that you've been booking lately, and I'm an actor as well. So, I know it goes through like these phases of booking certain types of jobs.
This is the ultimate phase of not booking at the moment.
Well, yeah, that too.
I got so excited when I was like the Zoom. I was like, I'm gonna be on camera right now, and I'm not like I don't like this kind of stuff. But I was excited because I love you guys. I just interviews sometimes get a little like I don't know, they're a little awkward sometimes. But this I was so excited because we've been doing absolutely nothing except watching TV. So sorry, I don't know where.
No, it's all good. So coming into this, where you're starting to book currently some more like bad guys.
Yeah.
What's the thought process when you start realizing, oh, I'm booking like jerks? Like, what's the adjustment that you have to go to? Because you seem like a really nice guy.
Oh, I have some ex-girlfriends who might disagree with you, but yeah. I think I'm a pretty good person. I think there's a piece of every bad person that I play in me. I don't think they're upfront, and I don't think that's my personality. But I think it's more fun, and I think I feel more challenged when when I tap into the bad people. So maybe I'm better at it. I don't know. I think it might just be the Eastern European look that I have. That people are just like, this guy looks like he's a bad dude. Yeah. So, but I love it. I literally a couple years ago, I was only booking like good roles, like nice roles. And I was like, man, I just want to book all the bad guys. And, I asked for it. So I've been getting them.
And there's so much more juice there that you can kind of.
It's so fun. It is. And
you were really good at
likable. You have to make them kind of likable a little bit. Yeah. Otherwise, they're not really that bad. They're just everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, hey, Aaron, let me ask you a question. So, about the movie specifically, for those who haven't seen it, where can people find it right now?
On YouTube. Right. On YouTube right now, do you guys have a link for it? I just watched it. Sorry,
I'm putting a link. Yeah, I'll post a link online on the article for this particular episode. Yes.
Yeah, they're doing the world premiere on YouTube. They got some distribution, and they threw it on YouTube, and I just watched it the other day, and it's great. It's great. It's scary. Yeah.
Well, YouTube's like the widest distribution a movie could get. That's pretty great.
It is. Yeah.
But I just want to jump on something you said about, and you're kind of joking, but it's kind of true. Like talking about a bad guy. Like all of us have something bad in us. All of us have something that can make us do things we maybe normally wouldn't do. In this movie, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but the main character, it's in the description, the main character is actually stealing from graves because he's desperate for money. And he seems to love his aunt. And she, she's talking about, she actually has money. It's a really big house, but he starts to feel bad. Can you talk a little bit about that concept of like something bad in our lives that comes back to haunt us? That's kind of what the film is about.
Yeah, it is. It's you make, he's the protagonist too. Gareth Corzin plays
he did a great job. Yeah.
Oh, he's great. He's great. A Kiwi. He's a Kiwi. He's a cool dude. He makes these decisions as the protagonist. When you make any decision, the audience has to be behind it. Otherwise, even stuff that you would judge them for. So I think it's like in real life, none of us we're all our own protagonists. Nobody, even Hitler thought he was a good guy. So we're all our own protagonists. So when we do something, we think we're doing the best, and then it comes, and even if we know we're doing something bad, we justify it. So I think he justified it, and he dealt with the consequences. And even my character, the bad guy in it, judges him. I have a line where I say, what you did to those people was sick. And like, here's this guy who's got a gun to his face, who's trying to get money from him because he owns some underground poker gambling facility, and he's probably killed dozens of people. And here's this guy judging our protagonist about his decision he made. So I think it's a cool analogy for anything in life. You know, you sometimes you don't know what you've done until you see what the consequences are in retrospect. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And Benji gave him lots of chances.
Oh yeah. Well,
and he must
give him 2 or 3. I mean,
which
he
is
immediately called him up and was like, "I need my money, dude." And then he was like, "All right." Like, you know, a day later that day, he shows up and he's like, "Let me kick your ass now." Yeah. Sorry, can I say ass?
Yes.
Now,
Okay,
can you
cool.
tell us what a bone box is, so people kind of know what the title means?
A bone box is it's where people, when they pass away, it's an area where you put their tchotchkes or their trinkets or their goods or their expensive or their belongings. I guess doesn't even have to be expensive, just something that was personal to them. A lot of these things can be expensive. They can be watches, they can be heirloom, jewelry. So that's a bone box. It's something that people put inside of into the grave, and then he steals some bone boxes, trying to pay back Benji.
All right.
He doesn't. I'm so upset. He doesn't pay. Where's my money? No.
Yeah. Well, if he paid him back, the movie would be over, and that would be really boring.
It would. So, it would be like, okay, he didn't really learn his lesson,
Yeah. So, let me, if I can shift the conversation just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't want to take too much away from the plot of the movie, but the plot of the movie, one of the biggest central themes of the movie is: are these ghosts real? Is this guy losing his mind, or is he really being haunted? And everybody can make their own minds up, because there's a lot of super creepy scenes that happen in the movie. I just want to ask you, Aaron, what do you think? Are ghosts real? Do you believe in ghosts of any kind?
I've been really into quantum physics lately. I've been learning a lot about quantum physics, and apparently there's proof that if you witness something, you can change matter just by observing it. So I think anything is possible. I think this world is a lot stranger than not. I think anything's possible. So I don't disbelieve, but I don't strongly believe either. I guess it's kind of a cop-out. But if I saw a ghost, I wouldn't be like, that's crazy. I'd be like, okay, they exist.
Yeah. Hey, host, how do you feel about this?
I'll talk first. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I believe in ghosts per se, but I have had encounters in my life, especially at my former employer, that kind of question whether or not they might exist. When you're by yourself and something happens and you don't really know the cause of it. I don't know that it's not some sort of presence. I think I believe more in a presence of something, but not necessarily a former person that housed that place. But I do believe that in energy, if that makes sense, that there can be some sort of, whether it's just a big bolt of negative energy that's causing something weird to happen. I think I believe more in that than I would be like, oh, it's a ghost. But of course, the easy thing to do is be like, there's a ghost in the laundry room. That's the easy way to explain it. But when you're in a laundry room and all of a sudden all the doors of the laundry room washers close and you look around the whole place and there's no one there, you're gonna think that there's something.
Did that happen?
Did that happen to you, Katie?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And
that happened
just,
to me, I'd be like, yep.
And okay, for example, there's another room in another location at my old job where you had to enter a key code to enter the building. And there'd be days where you'd enter the key code and it would turn green, but the door would not open. You'd be like, it's not opening. And I'm not lying. I literally did this 3 times. The door would not open and I went, stop it. And then the door opened.
So
just yell at it.
So, and
well, at least it was a nice ghost.
Yeah. So, but we would joke about it being a child that was the ghost, because childish type things would happen in that area. So like I said, ghost is the easy thing to call it, but I wouldn't necessarily say yes or no, a definitive answer on it. But
you're grounded. You're grounded. Go to your room.
I love this story you just told, Katie. And I think for a future episode of The Scare Guy, we're going to have a ghost story show. so we can all share our thoughts about this.
Bring me back. I actually, when I said I didn't believe, or I don't believe, or do believe, I have a couple of ghost stories from when I lived in Israel for a couple of years.
Yeah.
In the old city. So if you guys are going to do that, I got a couple for you. Yeah.
Well, Aaron, I just got to jump on what you said. You don't believe, but you do. But I think everybody is somewhat skeptical. I think we're all in the same boat. We all want there to be something more than just this physical world. As a person who goes to church, I do believe there's more than just this existence. But when it comes to like ghosts and the creepy stuff of the dark realms, that stuff is so intriguing, but also so mysterious. I don't think any of it. Once we have that ghost story to show, I'll share with you guys my tale of when I did live in what was perhaps a haunted house for almost 3 months before me and my ex-wife left the house, left our belongings behind, and moved out of the state.
Wow. Oh, I'm tuning into the show.
So that
whatever this is.
Is that a teaser or what?
That's a teaser. I'm in.
Ben,
put the link up.
Ben, what's your opinion on this?
I'm kind of along the same lines as Aaron. I guess I consider myself a bit agnostic as far as ghosts go. Like, I think there's some weird shit out there. I don't know what it is, but there's something weird going on. I don't know if it's ghosts. If a ghost popped up, I would be like, oh my gosh, but I'd also be like, okay, yeah, that was a ghost then. That's I
ran out of the room. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A close friend of mine used to be on the show Ghost Hunters. And so she is and before that she had been on a local Southern California like paranormal investigation unit. So I know there's something going on.
All right.
But I would agree, there's all kinds of weird stuff that we can't see. We can't see infrared light. Why isn't it logical to think there's all sorts of other stuff that we can't see?
There's even a belief that we can't see another dimension, even though it should be visible to us, because we, when the Native Americans saw them, they didn't see the Mayflower coming in, but it was right in front of them until it was like real close, because they have never seen a ship before. So maybe our minds, do it a lot. They trick us if we don't understand something. Yeah.
This is an awesome conversation. Yeah. We are going to have the show. Hey, Luke, did you have anything to add before
I'll just keep mine brief. I'd say I believe in spirits. I don't know totally about the ghost thing, but I do definitely believe there are spirits and things that happen supernaturally. And as a kid, I would see things in my house or other kind of random stuff, but it wasn't like ghosts of people. It was more like other things, but for another show.
Okay, here's the question. And hey, Aaron, so we recently did have you heard of the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles?
I stayed there when I first got here.
I
spent so there's a story about somebody being put into the tank, the water tank. A girl was found in the water tank, and she went missing. And there's an image of her in an elevator and being like talking to nobody. And they said she was schizophrenic, but people were like, she never had any mental issues before. Yeah, right. I heard about it, but I heard about it like 2 years after I stayed there. Right. But I stayed there for 2 nights. I just got to LA and I was like, oh, this is a cheap hotel. Let me stay here while I get my stuff together. And I was going to meet a friend. And then I ended up staying there. And I was going to stay there for almost a week. And I stayed there for 2 nights. And I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. Because
Why?
It was creepy. It was a creepy, kind of a nasty hotel as well, but it was also creepy. Yeah.
It's kind of so we did a show about it and we detailed a lot of the horrors of the hotel, the serial killers that were there, people that were killed, ghosts apparently there. And we did talk about, Ben, what was the girl's name that went missing?
Was it
something
Elise
Lamb?
Lamb.
Yeah.
Elisa
Lamb. Yeah.
I think it was Elisa Lamb.
And our guest, Bethany, who was our guest on that our show that week, she sent me information about a book all about Lisa Lamb. And so I'm going to read that book and we're going to do a follow-up. But the question was this, real quick, because we are kind of running up against the clock here.
Okay.
If there was a house or a place that everybody said was haunted, would you spend the night there?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to do a whole ghost hunter thing one time. I wanted to go a tour through America and go to all the haunted places. I would make sure I was with somebody and I would make sure I could document it so it wouldn't scare myself silly for no reason. So I can at least document it. But yeah, I would do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, host, real quick, would you?
I don't know.
Not my thing.
I don't know. It's
How much tequila would I have?
Ben, you would do it. You would do it. I know you would do it.
I left out that part. That would probably be nice. And yeah.
I've had enough sleep paralysis on my own, so I don't need to add to that.
Sucks.
I think it depends. I would not go by myself. No way I would go by myself. So I'm kind of with Aaron on this. Like, depending on who my company was and who I went, and I'd probably be like every day before, right before I go in, I'd probably be like, call someone who's not with me and be like, if you don't hear from me in 24 hours, like, send help.
Yeah. Right. Maybe I'd do it if there's no bathroom mirrors.
Oh,
every
the best part.
horror movie always like has that like
turn out the lights
thing in the mirror. Yeah, exactly.
So, guys, let's go ahead and let's wrap up the discussion about the bone box. If you have any other questions from Aaron, because I want him to be able to kind of like tell us what else he's working on these days. But so,
how did you get involved? How did you get involved
with the bone box? I auditioned, I think. I don't remember. It was a while ago. We filmed it about 4 years ago.
Oh wow!
Geez, wow.
I think you know what it was. Gareth Corzin was friends with Brad Everett Young, who's mutual friends with everybody. That's how I know you guys. And he knew about the role, and he was trying to cast this role, and he asked to meet me, and I met him for coffee, and we discussed it, and he offered the role to me. I think,
nice,
which was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, which was fun. It was a great role too. So I was like,
where was it filmed?
In Los Angeles. It was filmed, I think, near Mid-City in Los Angeles. A nice, creepy, old, creaky house.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't feel like Los Angeles.
Oh, I know. They
had kind of that small town feel. Great job with the location.
They had great actors. David Chokaki was in it. I got to hang out with the Baywatch guy. That was so cool. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. Anybody else have any questions about the bone box?
I have another one.
Yeah.
Just because, it's an interesting discussion. That opening shot, where it's just this big, long shot with the light. Very interesting. Do you know how long it took them to kind of do that or kind of choreograph that thing?
I don't know, but it was a really great shot. And I could tell it wasn't digitally done. They did that full, long shot. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I wanted to I was thinking about asking Luke, who directed it, like how he put that together, because that shot is really
cool.
It's creepy, and it's also like anybody who knows film is like, wow, this is well done.
That opening shot with the cemetery and the fog, that was so great. And it was a long shot, and he's running through the graveyard, and he's trying to stay away from people.
And the way they colored it, it was like they kind of like, they didn't like saturate anything. They made it really kind of like a little, not dull, but like some of the colors were pulled, and I thought that was really smart the way they colored it. Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to go onto YouTube, search for The Bone Box. It just premiered recently. It is streaming for free. This is the best time to see it. So we don't know how long it'll be on there. So check it out. Check out Aaron's performance as a really bad guy in the film. Hey, Aaron, we got to throw it to you. We're kind of running up against our closing time here at the podcast, but what other projects are you working on these days?
Quite a few actually are coming out at this time that I've worked on in the past, and now that I've been working on. So actually, I just did SWAT. I played another bad guy in SWAT with me and this girl, Rebecca Graff. She's a great actress. We just did SWAT. It's called The Wild Ones, and it's coming out on the 22nd, I think. Not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. You could see that on SWAT. And so it's a pretty big role on CBS, which is going to be fun.
Oh, it's on CBS. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I also did a movie called Adverse, which I'm a pretty small character. I play a detective, not a bad guy in this, actually a good guy. I have a couple scenes, but the cast is fantastic. And so I'm really excited for this to come out and for everybody to see it. I was supposed to go to a premiere a week and a half ago and would have been able to meet Mickey Rourke is part of it. So Mickey Rourke, Sean Astin, I'm reading this because the cast is huge. Mickey Rourke, Sean Astin, Penelope Ann Miller, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Lou Diamond Phillips, Jake T. Austin, Matt Ryan, Charlene Moa, Shelley Regner, Luke Edwards, Sam Levine, Eric Smonza, Jesse Garcia from Narcos. Brian Metcalf is the director of it and the writer of it. Thomas Ian Nicholas is a good friend and brought me along for that role, which I'm really grateful. And it's Kelly Argent as well. She's the protagonist. I'm really excited about that.
Holy cow.
Fame at a Deadly Cost. I just did a Lifetime movie that it's already out. So if you go to Lifetime Movie Network, I play another bad guy, really, really bad guy. And that's a fun role with Heavenly Raina is the co-star and Gina Holden, really good. And I think there's some.
What's that other little small thing you're doing on the side?
Which one?
That little project you're making.
Your personal project.
Oh yes, and then the documentary Raised in Hollywood. So that's been put on hold for a little bit, but
that makes sense. Yeah,
I'm really excited to put this out there. It's a story, it's a documentary about the stigma behind child actors and why does it exist and should it exist, and I personally don't believe it should, but it's my journey as a former child actor to investigate it. And we have a great cast so far. We're still looking for a couple A-listers. I want to get some A-listers to see what their point of view is on it. And we've got some interest with some networks. So nice. I think everybody should stay tuned and try to follow around some paparazzi and see what that life is and kind of like, pull the curtain, pull the veil up and look behind the real Hollywood in a way.
Yeah. I know you don't want to talk about it right now, but it was cool to see the trailer with you talking to Corey Feldman. That was kind of cool. But listen, Aaron, we so appreciate you coming on the show today. This has been a really great show. It's been awesome talking with you. And
thanks for having me.
As usual, time has flown. We are out of time here, but Aaron, please come back anytime. We're going to keep the couch, the proverbial couch warm for you. So when the documentary gets ready, come back. I got to ask you one last question, and you can say no comment, or you can give us whatever answer. Have you heard anything about yourself being in the new Mighty Ducks TV series?
Yes, I did hear about it. They decided they had a couple of choices on how to make the series so it was relatable to younger kids, and also they needed a new team, a new Ducks team. So they decided to change it up a little bit. And I think it's going to be, I wouldn't say darker, but I think it's going to be a little less, quote unquote Disney, even though it is on Disney. And they're going to be, I think the Ducks are the bad guys now. And I think it's kind of like an overcoming the obstacle of being bad guys back to good guys kind of story. And so they wanted to keep it with new cast, a whole bunch of, other than Emilio Estevez, they wanted to keep it all new, none of the other Ducks. And they I think they want to kind of like dangle that over people's heads. And apparently, if it goes well, you'll probably see a lot of us in season 2, is what I've heard.
We'll go ahead and start the hashtag now. Bring Aaron back. So
I love it. Yeah, bring the real Ducks. No.
The real
bring
Ducks.
The old Ducks back.
Well, with the success of Cobra Kai, like the nostalgia and the whole thing, like I think if it goes well, then they'll want to keep bringing people in, and that'll make each season more interesting.
I'm excited to watch it. Steve Brill, the guy who wrote the original. Steve Brill is, he does a lot of Happy Madison stuff. He's a great writer. He's really smart the way he writes. I don't think he can go wrong. I mean, it's his baby already, and I think he's thought about this for a while, and I'm excited to see the magic that he's going to put out there.
All right, guys, we do have to wrap up. Again, Aaron, thank you so much. And Luke will be contacting you because we want to get some duck love on the show, on the Con Guy show soon. So we'll talk to you about that. Yeah.
I'll bring some of my friends up. Yeah, for sure.
All right, the Flying V. All right. Excuse me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Scare Guy Show this week. Katie, where can people find you?
Hi, everyone. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at KT_Christine. A little bit more active than normal given the circumstances. You can also find me on other AfterBuzz TV shows, such as the Riverdale After Show and the Batwoman After Show. Both of those will be back within the next couple of weeks. So just stay tuned to my social media and I'll tell you all about it. But also, if you ever have any questions, believe in ghosts, let us know on Twitter. On the content.
All right. Ben.
Hey, everybody. You can find me on all social media at BENKLIEWER. Hard to spell, easy to say. And I'm trying to get more active on Twitter. I've been posting some videos on Instagram, which I'm pretty excited about as well. So check me out.
All right, Luke.
All right. I'm Cheeseman in the chair, normally Cheeseman on the couch. You can find me on Twitter at CheeseOnCouch and on thescareguy.com.
All right, Aaron, where can people find you?
I have some cheese on my couch right now, actually. Being this off. Also kind of hard to spell. It's AARONSCHWARTZ 11 number 11, at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all of the same